Tonight, though, let's start up north in Egypt, where the president, Abdel Fattah Al Sisi, will be hosting Saudi Arabia's monarch, King Salman bin Abdel Aziz, in Cairo on Thursday, the 7th of April. Now, this is the 80-year-old's first visit as head of state. Ahead of it, Saudi officials announced that they will be providing Egypt with its oil needs for the next 5 years. Government officials and investors from both countries are expected to sign investment deals worth over $4 billion in this inaugural visit. Now, Egypt also hopes to attract more tourists from Saudi Arabia. It intends to make up for the loss of its main European market, especially those in Eastern Europe, in the wake of bombing of a Russian passenger jet last October.
The visit will be an opportunity to convene the Egyptian-Saudi Joint Committee that includes a number of government ministers who will sign MOUs in the fields of developing Sinai, petroleum products, manufacturing, trade, culture and others. In
the
tourism sector, we have an MOU signed in 2010 with Saudi Arabia. We will target the Saudi market with extensive meetings, visits, exhibitions and attractive offers in Riyadh and Jeddah.
Let's dig into the nitty-gritty details of that particular visit. Yasser Kim is live in Cairo right now. Let's go more data on the story. Yasser, let's get into the details of the terms of this $20 billion deal to supply Egypt with petroleum for the next 5 years. How exactly does this fit into the government's plans to slush energy subsidies?
Well, the energy subsidies will be continuing to be reduced on a yearly basis for 5 years. This 5-year plan, that's already 1 year has gone by, so we've got another 4 years to slash these subsidies on energy, and this will go a long way in helping at least control the expenditures of the Egyptian government. Subsidies on energy, it takes a huge portion of the subsidies bill, and a third, and so this deal will be in a way helping the Egyptian government to cut on the deficit, to cut on expenditure, to help put the money in other areas that need this money, whether in health, in education, in development, and also in projects that will help employment, more employment opportunities.
Let's explore that opportunity cost in a little more detail. Crude oil prices have been relatively low. So from the perspective of the Egyptian government, why not just lock in supplies for the next 1 year, 2 years, 5 years on the open market at, say, $40 a barrel instead of signing this deal with the Saudi Kingdom?
Well, for Egypt, this deal is much better than going into the open market. First of all, you've got someone who's ready to provide you with oil for 5 years, whereby you will not pay. You have a grace period of 3 years. You will receive 80,000 tons per month. And the loan, which you begin to repay after 3 years, will be on a 2% interest rate. So it's a very attractive deal there. It will also be helpful in that within 5 years you have your price there. If the prices go up, then you have your price locked at now, the current price for you. It's there, and so it will be a win-win situation rather than waiting to see the prices every year. It might go up. Egypt might not have the funds at the moment to pay for it. So it's a much better deal for Egypt at the moment, especially that doesn't have enough financial power to cover this high bill for oil and petrol every year. So it's a good deal for Egypt at this point.
Indeed. One last question for you, Yasser. We understand there's another $1.5 billion deal to be signed relating to developing the Sinai, the money being provided again by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. What exactly will that cash do, and why can't Egypt fund that cost from its own internal revenues?
Well, Sinai in particular is a very sensitive issue for Egypt. It's on the borders with Israel, with Palestinian state, and there has been this crackdown on terrorism there in a small area of Sinai, in the northeast tip of Sinai. And the thing is that one of the ways that you should crack down on terrorism is through development, not just through security apparatus. And this is what they're working at now. The Egyptian government has put around $10 billion to develop the area of Sinai. Sinai is the size of France, so it's not a small area. And Saudi Arabia is now going to help in establishing university. A whole city there will be the Salman University, King Salman University, the King Salman City. There will be an industrial zone. There will be an oil port, a seaport. So a host, and as well as housing units and agricultural land to be cultivated. So it's a whole project to develop this area that only has 700,000 population there in this area, and help the Egyptians, the 90 million Egyptians who are all cramped into over the Nile area, basin area, to move into Sinai and to live there, have the infrastructure to build and live, and thus help kick out, if you want to say, terrorism and extremism by developing the area and bringing life to it.
Indeed. We'll leave it there for the time being. Thank you for the update. That's Yasser Kim is live in Cairo. Of course, he's part of the team that will be fully covering the visit of King Salman over to Egypt.